guys, it's Casey from kpandmk, and today I wanted to do a video on period horror stories. Now, I don't have major horror stories like, some people do, but I have some pretty bad ones. And once again, I'm gonna say in this video before I start, the birds are, alive and well, so they're gonna be talking at some points as they are now. They're preening right now, so they want their feathers to be picked at every 2 seconds. So, yeah. Let's get started. So, my first horror story, I think, was 7th or 8th grade. No, okay, we'll start with my first period, because that was kind of a horror story in itself. My first period lasted 12 days, and it was pretty heavy. Now, just know anything on this channel is not TMI, but it was pretty heavy. But it was kind of a horror story in its own because I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea how things worked. I was like, I don't know. It was all just a hot mess. So, what I very first did on the first day that I had school, that was the second day of my period. I started on a Sunday. It was September 29th. It's almost been 3 years since I first started my period. Congrats to me. Happy birthday, period. But it's kind of horrible because the second day I had to run up and down the stairs to get to my next class, and I didn't have time to go to the bathroom because the warning bell already rang and I needed to change my pad. Like, it was completely soiled. It was disgustingly full. So, I go ahead and go to the bathroom and I'm like, oh, I'm freaking out because the warning bell rang, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? So I just went really quickly and I just did a really quick wash of my hands, and I didn't get like my fingernails, and there was some blood under there, and that was gross. That whole period was just kind of like, I didn't know what I was doing, so it was just all a horror because I was a little traumatized by having to, now I have to change pads and tampons, and it was a mess. So the real horror story here is 8th grade year. I had started my period in the morning and I was like, oh shoot, okay, whatever. My periods normally start out really light, they're fine for one day, and then the next day they get horrible. So, I threw on just this, regular, like, yellow always pad or whatever, and I was like, I'll be fine. And, about halfway through the day, about lunchtime is when I changed my pad, right? So I'm sitting in 5th period waiting for lunch to come because we had 8 periods in a day. But I'm sitting in 5th period waiting for lunch to come, and all of a sudden I just feel this gush, and I wanted to cry, honestly, because I knew exactly what had happened, and I was freaking out, and I was just praying it was not on my pants. So, honestly, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna man up and do this myself. So I got up, I put away my violin because I'm a violinist and a flautist, but I got my violin, I put it up, put it in the tallest locker that we have, and we had at the junior high, and I walked past these 2 boys and they started snickering, and I still talk to these boys these days, so but they started snickering, and I was like, this is bad. So I walk out to lunch and I ask my friend, I'm like, hey, will you check me please? And she's like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. So I stand up, I barely standing up. She looks down and she goes, honey, sit back down. And I started crying, like full on, like I was like trying to stop the tears and it would not stop. I was just crying. I had a spot this big on my pants. I wanted to cry so bad after all that happened, but I had PE 7th period, so it wasn't too bad. I only had to wait 1 more class before I could change into new pants because I was like, I'm gonna wear my gym clothes home. Unfortunately, we had cardio that day, which is basically we're just running across the gym over and over and over again, so that sucked. But yeah, freshman year didn't hold any horror stories, thankfully, and I'm hoping sophomore year doesn't hold any horror stories either. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. I'm trying to upload videos every Friday. McKenna's I can't really get in touch with her. I don't know what's happening. We go to different schools. It's a little bit hectic, but I'm really trying to get in touch with her, see if she's gonna do anything. I haven't told anything, but yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you laughed at my horror. It was horrible, as entitled. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
That fragile Capricorn unraveled words like moths upon old scarves. I know the